Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. Um, I don't really need to say my name. I'm sorry, y'all. It's kind of early. So, we're just going to go straight to it. The Grizzlies essentially wrapped out their training camp roster with the December 10 deal with the signing of Charlie Brown Jr. Now, I'm trying to collect my thoughts because, if I got to be real with y'all, I saw Charlie Brown Jr., and I think we know what we all were thinking at first. Um, Yeah, I started thinking about Snoopy and them. I can't lie. Not even trying to be funny. This is genuinely what I thought. I looked at the tweet and I was like, "Oh, this is an actual person." Shout out to Charlie Brown Jr. Um, all right, how can we say this in the nicest way possible? This is me trying to be mean. I'm running off straight vibes right now, y'all. I can't lie. I really don't have the energy right now, but we gonna make it through. So Charlie Brown Jr. He done pretty good in the G League. He's last year in the G League he averaged 12.5 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, and 2.2 assists per game for Raptors 905. And he also set a career milestone with 9 steals in the game, tying the G League record before it was broken later that season. Now, on the professional level, he has had multiple 10-day contracts and two-way contracts, and he's played for about 4 teams. And I got to be honest, in these 4 teams that actually, no, excuse me, 5 teams. 5 teams. He's been in the league since 2019, finding his way onto a team each year, so shout out to him. Um, yeah, I'm just keep it real with y'all. These stats aren't good. I'm just be honest. And this is nothing against him. This is literally just what I'm reading right now. So he's his career high average is about 4.4 points a game. Other than that, it has not improved. And that's like I said, that is nothing against him. This is just what I'm reading. Now the only thing about him, points wise, hey, it's cool. You're on the 10-day, two-way, whatever it is. But the part that gets me is he has not shot efficiently not 1 year in the league. And that really scares me. I can't even lie. His highest field goal percentage in the league was his first year in the league where he shot 31% from the field. And he's not that much better of a three-point shooter. Great free throw shooter, though. Just not a good three-point shooter in general. So, but that's the NBA. Not everybody pans out in the NBA. That's perfectly fine. So, one thing about it, I do not expect him to really make like an immediate impact. I think this is just an example of the Grizzlies trying to see if they found a diamond in the rough. I don't expect anything more past that. He has pretty good athleticism and pretty good defense. Obviously, when get 9 steals in the game, you got pretty good defense. Um, I got to be honest. Like I said, don't really expect much from him. I think they're just testing out some things, trying to find a diamond in the rough, and that's really all it is. So I thought I'd bring that up to y'all because that was something that happened the other day. Now, something else that happened the other day. ESPN's Top 100. And y'all know my gripe with ESPN when it comes to their rankings and things like that. But I got to be honest. For once, I'm actually going to agree with ESPN. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm actually going to agree with ESPN to an extent. To an extent. So, let's get started. So, 3 players are ranked at the top 100 for ESPN. At 31, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. 33, we got John Moran. And at 88, we got Zach Edey. Now, let's get through the obvious ones. Jaren and John Moran. I'm going to just be real. John Moran at 33, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And the reason I'm not mad at it is because, yes, John Morant is probably better than half the players that are on the list ahead of him. I mean, if we just take a look at the list right now, I'm sorry, I can't say it with a straight face, but at 26 we have Derek White. Yeah, Derek Derek White. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, that was a little funny. I'm sorry. I looked at that list and I'm like, there's no way Derek White is. We're living in a world where Derek White is higher on the list than John Moran. That's kind of funny. But no, in general though, I'm actually not mad at it. John Moran has to play more games. That's just a simple solution. He has to play more games. He has to be more of an impactful player for his team, and that just makes sense right there. He needs to be better. Now, Jaren though, Jaren at 31. Uh You know what? While we here, let's pull up the full. Let's just pull up the full list because, like I said, Derek White, solid player, but better than Jaren. I don't know. So at 31 we got Jaren. At 30 we got Scotty Barnes. I don't even know what to say at that point. I really don't even know what to say at that point. But if I'm being honest though, ESPN kind of got it right. They kind of got it right. Now, Jalen Williams over Cade Cunningham, I do not agree with that. I don't care how well he did in the finals. I do not agree with that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Derek White. Hey, but anyways, the list is actually pretty accurate. I can't even be mad. These guys just have to be more games, play more games, and they have to be more consistent. Ja, play more games. It's just that simple. Jaren, you have to be consistent throughout the entire year. You're played this. You don't get rewarded for play in the first half of the season. It's just that simple. So, not really too mad about that. Now, looking deeper into it though, Zach Edey. I got to be honest. I did not think he would make the top 100. I'm glad he did, but I did not expect it. I mean, when you look at this, because we have to take a look at some of the names that were kept off this list. For Zach Edey to make it, I would have thought Jalen Wells made it. He didn't. I would have thought Ty Jerome made it. He didn't. I'm honestly surprised Ty Jerome didn't make it, considering he was a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, Zach Edey made it, and I mean, hey, it's, you know what? Shout out to Zach Edey. Shout out to Zach Edey, and it's good to see that he's grabbing the attention of some people. Excuse y'all, like I said, I'm running on straight vibes right now, straight vibes. But yeah, he essentially, I kind of glad that he's making a solid impact on the in the media. The fact that he's at that point where he's getting that kind of attention. I mean, I'm not even gonna debate like who's ahead of him in general, because he's done pretty good for himself. So shout out to Zach Edey. I mean, we could read the description that they have for him. The 7'4", 305-pound big man status for the start of the season is in question. Obviously, he's recovering from an ankle injury and ankle surgery, but he's proved to be impactful in the limited role as a rookie. Edey averaged 9.2 rebounds, 8.3 rebounds. Wait, 9.2 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks last season, where he only played 21.5 minutes per game. Only one rookie has ever matched or exceeded that production across the board with a higher effective field goal percentage than Edey's 600. And this is from Tim McMahon. Edey set, they have a signature stat. I'm actually reading this now. Edey set 32.9 on-ball screens per game under head coach Thomas Isolo. They spelled it Thomas for some reason. That's weird. Versus 13.2 when he was under Taylor Jenkins. My God, Taylor Jenkins did straight up war crimes on this team. My God, I didn't realize it was that bad. I'm actually glad Isolo's really using Zach Edey, because my goodness, I didn't know it was that bad. Yeah, but shout out to Zach Edey. I really think he does take another leap this year. As you just saw, they're including him in the system more, and that proved to be very, very good for the team in a way. Obviously, his rebounding numbers boosted up, his overall production boosted up, and Thomas Isolo actually knows how to use a center in Zach Edey. So shout out to Zach Edey, and I really do think he will improve this year and take the Grizzlies further once healthy, of course. But he's not the only person that I think can take the leap this year. I think the entire team can take a leap this year. Genuinely. Because the Grizzlies are not far off from the goal, which is making further than what they have in the past 5 years. Obviously, this team has not made it. They haven't made it past the second round, and they haven't made the conference finals in over 10 years. It's a possible goal. It's just one thing, one thing amongst others that's really holding them back, and that's consistency. It's just that simple. The Grizzlies are not a consistent team. And I'm not talking about consistency in the ways of certain players or who can shoot the ball better than this person. No, we are talking about as a team. The Grizzlies are not consistent. And what I mean by that is this team finds a way to have a great first half of the season, We just talked about Jaren having a great first half of the season. They do good. They're second seed. And they do just fine. But after the All-Star break, that's when things start to go downhill and they're fighting for their playoff hopes. That is something that is unacceptable for a team that is trying to contend for an NBA championship. It's just that simple. You don't see OKC doing it. You don't see the other teams doing it. The only other team that I feel like can get away with that is maybe the Lakers. And even then, it's the Lakers. Let's just be honest. So not many teams can get away with that and try to make a deep playoff run. We've seen it happen before, but the chances of it happening are slim. So don't even bank on it. The Grizzlies have to be consistent, and it means being the team that they can, the best team that they can be throughout all aspects of the season. Whether it's an All-Star break, whether it's the trade deadline, whether it's nearing the postseason, you have to be consistent because here's the thing. I like in hindsight, obviously you will want the Grizzlies if you're going to go on a very consistent run, do it in the second half of the season. That way you have momentum going into the playoffs. But if you want to contend for a championship, just go ahead and be consistent throughout the entire season. That means no letting up on the easy games, being ready to play these contending teams, and going further. I mean, we talked about it. The Grizzlies cannot go anywhere if they cannot beat the contending teams or the top teams in each conference, and that proved to be a struggle when it came to teams like OKC, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks. I could go on. Every team that you probably saw in the top 5 of each conference, the Grizzlies had a losing record against. It was just that bad. And the only other team that really dealt with their issues of consistency and still made it far was the Knicks. But even then, the Knicks have one of the best rosters in the league, so they were eventually going to figure it out. Other than that, the Grizzlies don't have a roster that is up to level with the New York Knicks, and that's just on paper. But they can figure it out and find a way to make a deep run throughout the season and carry that momentum over into the postseason. And we're looking at a completely different team than we've seen the past couple of years, whether it's Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., or the others. That's my thing, and that's all I got to say on that. If this team is not consistent, we are back at square one, and the landscape of whatever we've been talking about changes completely. So let's hope we get a different outlook on this team and a different mentality. These guys are getting older, and we really have to wake up now. So hopefully they figure it out. Obviously, media day, all that stuff coming up. Can't wait to see what the guys say. Can't wait to see what the coaches say. All these things. Really can't wait for it. Yeah, so that's all I got to say on that. That's going to be a wrap for this edition right here. I really don't have nothing else for y'all. I mean, we already talked about the dates for training camp, open practice, all that stuff. So that's really all I got. Just continue to look forward to the next season. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications if you want to hear more about these videos when they come out, so you'll be one of the first to watch it. As for this edition, I'll be signing off, and I'll see y'all in the next one.